The Infortrend EonStor GS is a unified storage system that integrates file level, block level, and cloud gateway into one single system. This video on SSD cache contains two parts. First, we'll introduce the SSD cache feature. Then we'll demonstrate how to configure SSD cache on EonOne. Let's begin with introducing the concept of SSD cache. Cache is a component that transparently stores data so that future requests for the data can be served more efficiently. It is fundamental to storage, especially for read-intensive applications. However, the amount of memory cache that can be installed on the controller is limited. Moreover, the storage capacities of hard disk drives have increased dramatically, but their performance has not, making them inadequate to support workload-intensive applications. To tackle these issues, Infortrend has introduced SSD cache to address these physical limitations. So, what is SSD cache? It is a software feature that leverages fast SSD to extend the cache pool capacity of storage systems where frequently accessed data is stored. SSD cache pool can be treated as a second-layer memory cache, which increases the cache capacity of the storage system. Thus, more hot data can be stored in the SSD cache, so future requests for the data can be served more efficiently, and the read performance is dramatically enhanced. Infortrend's proprietary firmware intelligently moves a copy of the most frequently accessed data from hard disk drives to the SSD cache pool, leading to quicker response to the user's read requests. Data from sequential reads or writes is not written to the SSD cache pool, but only random read data is stored in the SSD cache pool to make the most effective use of SSDs. It not only improves read performance, but also extends the life cycle of hard drives by reducing hard drive reads and writes. Therefore, it is suitable for random read-intensive applications such as online transaction processing and databases. A license is required for use of the SSD cache feature, so please make sure you have added the license on your unit before activating the function. Once SSD cache is enabled, the controller memory cache will use a certain percentage of space to store the harness record, and the maximum SSD cache pool size is determined based on the capacity for the harness record in the controller memory cache. For detailed information about the feature, please refer to the Infortrend SSD Cache application notes. Next, we'll demonstrate how to configure SSD cache on EonOne. Start EonOne and open the Settings menu. Enter Storage Setup. Click SSD Cache at the bottom of the page. Turn on the switch to enable the function. A dialog message will pop up. Please select the SSD disk to build the SSD cache pool. To optimize overall system performance, we strongly suggest you select an even number of drives. Click the Add button to apply the settings. Then you can check the information of the SSD cache pool on the page. To check the drive details, you can click the Drive Details button. The logical drive status will indicate cache mode if SSD cache is successfully enabled. You can also check the remaining life of SSDs at the bottom of the page. If you want to remove an SSD from the SSD cache pool, please select the drive and click the Remove button. You can also choose to have the system send you a notification when the remaining life of SSD reaches the specified threshold. Go to Settings, then click System and select General. Then click Manage under Advanced Options. Switch to the Drive Side tab. Enable the SSD remaining life notification by selecting the remaining life threshold and click Apply. If you want to add one more SSD to the SSD cache pool, click the Add Disk button. Select the drive and click Add. If you want to disable the SSD cache function, just turn off the switch at the top of the page. And this concludes our video. Thanks for watching.